You're listening to the Teach Better Talk podcast featuring expert educators eager to share progressive tactics to reach more students. Teach Better Talk is created by teachers and fueled by passion. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 169 of Teach Better Talk. My name is Ray Hewart, and as always, I am with my incredible co-host that just does so much work and is so supportive, Mr. Jeff Gargas. Jeff Gargas, do you have a middle name? I wanted to use your middle name.
Well, I'll let you try and figure that out someday, but are you like drunk or on something? Like, where was that? That was like really nice. Like,
that seems really inappropriate for you to ask me that question. Of course not. I'm just so appreciative.
I'm pretty sure every single person listening right now is like, what's wrong with Ray?
Well, let's talk honestly here. I bashed you in the first episode we recorded, and we just went out of order, and I bashed you in the one that we did that will be coming out later, like our next episode.
That's it. So this is sandwiched by two bashing.
I thought in the middle I needed to like be kind in some way, but could you please share your middle name? That would have made this episode better.
Sure. My middle name is Raymond. I don't know.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a great name. Ray is an awesome name.
Jeffrey Raymond Gargas, yeah.
I had no idea.
JRG.
Wow. What a great... Everyone's middle name being Ray is so...
My middle name is not Ray.
Ray is an amazing name.
My middle name is not Ray. It's Raymond.
But it's almost... That's like being David, but going by Dave.
Yeah, but it's not... You don't usually you don't usually shorten the middle name.
Is your name Jeffrey and you go by Jeff? That's the same as Raymond going by Ray.
But the middle name you don't typically shorten.
Okay, so fun fact, my dad's
your name doesn't even make any sense.
Okay,
like,
my dad's
like a middle name or a shortened version of Rachel. It's like just a word you made up. You're like, oh, I think Ray's easy to say.
My dad's name is Herschel James Ford, and he goes by Jim. So that's a shortened middle name. Boom.
Your dad's name is Sir Awesomeness.
That's true.
And that is it.
Yes.
Your dad's name is Herschel?
Herschel, after his father, but his middle name is James, and he goes by Jim.
So he probably does that because when they were growing up, everyone was like Herschel, and both would turn, so they had to change it. So they used his middle name, and he wanted to go Jim because that's a nickname.
And my name...
No one ever called me Raymond, so it never got into like a short, like a nickname or anything.
I'm going to start calling you Ray, just for fun.
All right, Rachel. Sounds good.
Oh my God, do not. We have to move on from this topic. Anywho.
You're playing with fire right now, girl.
I am.
Are we recording still? Is this still going on?
We are, and I think this would be valuable. Before we get into this episode, can we highlight the fact that Teach Better Conference proposals are open, and we've gotten a lot of questions, so we can clarify some details with that.
Sure.
But then also, we have launched a huge chunk of speakers that we've been keeping a secret for the past few months because we were going to do a slow release, and then COVID-19 came, and just everything was on pause. We wanted to support teachers. But while we're still supporting teachers, we kind of got our feet on the ground, and we wanted to highlight all these amazing educators that are coming to Teach Better Conference 2020. And these are like awesome people. So what do you want to start with? Talking about proposals or highlighting the people that are joining us? And there's still more to come to be announced, by the way.
Let's touch really quickly on proposals. So those are open at teachbetterconference.com. Anyone can submit for your chance to potentially come and share some of your awesomeness, share your story. What are some of the questions that we're getting, Ray? The biggest one is are they open and when are they going to close? And yes, they are open. They're open through till the end of May as of right now. So, and I think the most common other one we get, and I'm going to have you answer this one, is what are you looking for? Like, what should I submit? Like, what are you looking for is the most common one. So, and I know you're going to answer it the same way that I would. So,
yeah, we answer this all the time. We answered it, I think, even in a Teach Better Talk introduction, back in January or February. But we're just looking for people to share what their passions are. So whether you want to share, technology, or you want to share a strategy in your classroom, or a passion project, or anything, we really just want anything that encompasses this teach better idea, right? The teach better mindset of being better today than you were yesterday and better tomorrow than you were today. And the conference really focuses on this idea of growth, building community, and wanting us to all share our insights with each other so we can all grow. So if you have anything that you are passionate about, that is what you should submit.
Yeah, I love it. And like Bray said, things that you're passionate about, things that are working for you. We really love. I love that there were so many. I think all of the sessions in 2019 were just things that you could take away and put into action right away. And that was a big thing that we really want. Is we want people to come in, you want to gather ideas, gather inspiration, and just go back and put it in place with your students or with your your school and stuff. So that's a big one there. So let's talk about then also.
And
go ahead.
Jeff,
what do you got?
Really quick, like our attendees are everywhere from classroom teachers to administrators to superintendents. They're kind of all over the school ecosystem. So even if you're an educator, but you're not in a role that you might feel like should be presenting at a conference, like get that out of your head. We want you there. We want you sharing. So,
our 2019 presenters were all over the spectrum too, which is there's something for everyone, like literally. So I love it. So, all right. So we've had a bunch of we just started releasing like last week, and then this week another. How many new speakers have we did? It's a bunch.
So let's clarify. Like obviously, Jeff, Chad, and I are going to be there. And
we're going?
Yes, we are. And the whole Teach Better team. You know that we're all going to be there. But before COVID-19, before the pause, we announced that Dr. Valerie Camilla Jones is going to be there. And she is like, holy smoke, so amazing. And Dr. Neil Gupta is going to be there. So we had these two powerhouse educators that we were so thrilled to announce. But now we've launched even more over the past 2 weeks. So Matt Miller's coming. You know Matt Miller. He's amazing.
Yeah. Ditch that textbook.
Yep. Sarah Thomas.
Oh, EduMatch Sarah Thomas. That's right. Yep.
So cool.
Yes, Michelle.
We also have George Valenzuela.
George is awesome.
Yep.
Rev Up Robotics, baby.
Yep. Allison Epsy.
Oh, I love Allison. Oh. She's just like the sweetest soul in the world.
I know. It's hard to like say her name and not smile.
I know.
And last but not least, I'm so stoked for this because I've been nothing but so proud of him with his brand new book. CJ Reynolds is coming.
Oh, yeah. And yes, CJ's coming. CJ was a pretty big hit of Teach Better 2019, I'd say.
Yeah, so, absolutely. So pumped. With this collection, these are like featured speakers that we're pushing out. But you should know, first of all, we have more that we're announcing next week. So stay tuned. And as you submit your proposals, we want you to be a featured speaker. Like those accepted at the conference become featured speakers. So we have this amazing lineup of educators that we're so excited to celebrate. But when you're accepted to present, you are also somebody that we want to celebrate, amplify your story, and all those things in between. Our conference is all about networking and building a community and a family. So we want you to not only enjoy presentations from amazing expert educators from around the country, around the world, but also like then get to hang out and have dinner with them. And, that's kind of the point of the conference. So I hope that you choose to submit your proposal so you can be alongside all the amazing people that are going to be a part of this event.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's start, Ray. Thanks for laying that all out for us.
We try. I mean, what can I say?
All right. So let's talk about this. What?
Wait, I'm so sorry. What? This is something I feel like needs to be said, and then we'll get into the episode. If you are somebody looking to submit, you should know presenters do not pay registration. That cost is waived.
You get in free. Yes.
We feel very strongly about that. I know not all conferences are able to accommodate that. It's something that we really believe at our core value. If you are presenting, you are not paying. So we want to make sure that if you're somebody who's like, oh, I'd love to go to the Teach Better conference, but I'm not sure I can afford it. Here's your way. Present. You'll be fine.
Heck yeah. Love it. All right. Episode 169 here. Great episode. This was really cool. I was super excited to have this guy on. Khandker Ahamed is the co-founder of Kids Ivy Tutors, which is, I love this story. I'm getting excited about his story. I probably got in there. So this is an organization that works they're really working that. They say that they're on a mission to teach the future of education by connecting passion, mentorship, and 21st century skills. And they have on-demand skills courses and all kinds of stuff that they work with schools on. But it started with and focused around this tutoring of students, and the story of how it started and why they had to grow is really cool. I really love how candid he got with us, what he shared there. This is a guy he's been recognized. I mean, we talk about it like he's on the cover of Forbes. He's been recognized by Bloomberg. The United Nations has talked about them, the Clinton Global Initiative. The list goes on and on of people who are recognizing these guys that are doing this work because it's having such an impact on the kids that they're working with, and now the teachers that they were helping to work with other kids and the schools that they're working with, and helping them to grow and to better support students who need tutoring, who need mentorship, who are trying to learn these 21st century skills and get themselves ready for college. I'm super excited about just this entire episode. Super nice guy, very passionate about what he does, and I just want to get into it. I'm going to shut up. I don't need to talk anymore. What do you got?
Let's do this.
You got it? Okay. Episode 169 with Khandker Ahamed.
We're going to get right back to the episode, but I wanted to make sure you had the details of what the team is continuously doing to support all of the educators that are striving to reach their students at a distance. Now, while we will continue to push out content like blogs, podcasts, free downloads, and online courses to support you, we wanted to do more. So you can meet our team live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in our private Facebook group at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern for a daily drop-in. During this time, we'll be providing PD for all educators and answering your questions to make sure you feel supported. We'll meet you over in our private Facebook group. You can request to join at teachbettergroup.com or simply by searching Teach Better Team on Facebook. We'll meet you there. Now, let's get back to the episode.
All right, we are here and we are chatting with Khandker Ahamed. And Khandker, it's so awesome to have you on here. Really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us. Excited to kind of dive in and learn about your backstory and what you got going on and everything that you're doing and how you're also, it's just kind of handling the current situation in our world. But before we get too far into things, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling stressed, but also excited because there's this situation really brought so many opportunities to look at. And when you're talking about like education and stuff, but overall, like I'm excited and like I'm, like sad, I'm stressed. There's a lot of mixed feelings right now, but overall you could say like doing pretty okay.
Well, hopefully for the next 30 minutes, we put you in a wonderful mood because I'm so excited to hear your story on how you're supporting students for this podcast episode. I do want to make sure, though, that our listeners kind of get a lens into the work that you're doing. So would you mind kind of answering a very typical question of like, how do you describe yourself and what you do?
Well, basically what we do is we provide K through 12 students with 21st century skills, and we try to create a personalized curriculum for all of our students. So we are providing like a one-on-one opportunity for all of our students.
And so that leads me right into what I wanted to kind of dive into. That's you were mentioning kids. It's Kids Ivory Tutors, correct?
Yep.
Is the company. So I'm interested now. Let's just get right into it. Can you're the co-founder of Kids Ivory Tutors. Can you walk us through sort of what all it is that you're doing? You kind of touched on it, but where did it come from? What made you start it? How long has it been around? Sort of just give us the whole, like, let's take a trip down memory lane here. Like, give us the history of it.
Yeah. Let's go for the truth, right? So I was in high school senior year, right? And two of my other friends, we just wanted to put something on our resume for college application, and we wanted to make some money, right? And so we were in a low income community. All three of us came from a low income background as well, and so we had to support our family at then as well. So I was like, how can we make money? And that's when what trigger was like that. Oh, like we already doing these education stuff. At that time I was part of this after school program. Why not kind of like branch it out and start doing tutoring program? So us three, we just kind of like created a flyer and we were like, all right, let's provide tutoring for the cheapest price possible and still make some money. So we partnered up with our high school and it was like, hey, we're going to provide it for $15 an hour to as many students as possible, right? And that's how we kind of like got started. And then when we did it for like few months, we realized it's bigger than just making money, right? A lot of our parents were so happy that seeing that a lot of their students are improving grades. A lot of the students are like actually care about learning now because we took that near peer model, and we are bringing like ourselves to the students and their story, what they're going through, and like bring that into academic. That's kind of like was mind blowing to the parents, and they were like, yo, you have to keep doing this, you have to keep working with our child, because you guys are making an improvement which we couldn't do. So that's what kind of like motivated us, and that's when it was like, all right, let's branch it out, let's start doing more tutoring throughout Brooklyn. That's when we started like doing a lot of tutoring inside Brooklyn area. And then a few years ago, I think in 2017, we did a research with 80 parents, teachers, administrators, and students. We brought them together and we did a study. It's like, hey, what else can we do for you, right? And that's when we realized that academic is one component, but we need to do more than what it is. And that's when the 21st century came about, was that a lot of the parents wanted to prepare their students for college and what's going to happen after college, right? So that's when we got that survey, when we got those results, not only from the parents, but also from the teachers and the administrators, that's when we realized that, all right, let's create a curriculum, let's create a whole child curriculum, which is focused not only around academic, but it's focused around academic, mental health, and as well as the 21st century skills.
So when you started it, you said when you're just looking to figure out, hey, how can we make some money, started tutoring, did you actually like create the company at that point, or was it just kind of a thing you were doing, or?
No, we created the company at that point. And when some money started coming in, we were like, how can we like monetize this? That's when like one of our mentor told us, hey, like just create a company and like start working through that. So yeah, we found the company in 2015.
In 2015. Okay, so 5 years in now. Okay, gotcha.
You need to say that 5 years, almost 4.5. We started like 2015, end of 2015.
Gotcha. Okay, that's really, really cool. And so you've been recognized. I mean, a lot of people have taken notice of what you're doing. I'm looking at right now at a cover of Forbes. Can you kind of? I'd love to hear some, maybe a story about sort of how kind of that came around. Like, I mean, I know Bloomberg's looked at, mentioned you in Forbes, and you were mentioned as overachievers under 30. How did the Forbes thing come about? How did that happen?
Yeah, it's actually it's a interesting story. Was that I have a lot of so I'm like a LinkedIn person. I always post a lot of my stuff, and one time it's just like I talked about one of my students. I was like, this student was like really struggling, wanted to drop out of high school, and now he's actually in an Ivy League college, right? And that story kind of like got to some people, and then they started to be like, and then one of my friends was like, hey, Khandker, you should apply to the Forbes program. And that's when I kind of like applied, and out of nowhere I got it, and it was really amazing to see that happen. And at that time, a lot of our work was within like Brooklyn, and we were wanted to like reach out to other areas in New York City. So that kind of like played a huge role into getting that recognition.
Gotcha. Now I got to ask, because you are in New York City, obviously very, very hard hit by COVID-19, the pandemic right now. How are you? You guys as a company, how are you adjusting with your tutoring? Were you able to flip to virtual? Was that something you were already doing, or where are you guys at with everything?
So a lot of our tutoring, it's stopped, right? But we are still providing that workshops within so we have different partner schools, and we are providing like virtual workshops to those schools around like storytelling, around like how to adapt to this situation. So something like stress management, and then talking about like emotional intelligence, and then also how to learn virtually, like how to learn virtually. Some of those workshops we have been doing, and also we actually did a training for the teachers around virtual classroom. So we kind of like got some tech person together, and we just like got them involved, creating a curriculum, have them do like a fireside chat with another teacher, and they talked about like how teachers can engage students using like a Google Classroom or Zoom and all those kind of stuff.
Very cool. I love it. I appreciate you sharing all that with us. So one of the things we talk about on our podcast a lot is failure. We like to share stories of times of struggle and overcome a challenge. I wonder if you could share a story with us from a time in your life that you've had a struggle or a challenge or failure that you need to overcome. Kind of share with us what happened, how did you overcome it, and what did you take away from that experience?
Yeah, actually, when we graduated from high school, so one of my partners he went away for college, right? And he kind of like told us that he can't work on Kids IV anymore. And during that time, like it really hit us hard because at that time we were at a growing stage. Even though we totally understand where he was coming from and all of the situations with college. Studying and being in a different environment, it's totally understandable. At that time, it was just like a lot on us, and it was just only us three doing a lot of the work. So he leaving the company was a huge hard hit for us, and we were losing parents, we were losing clients, and one of the things during that time was like we thought about that. Wow, like we probably need to shut Kids IV. Shut it down, right? And but at that time, like one of the biggest thing was like biggest people that played role was our mentors. We had this high school teacher who was mentoring us from the beginning. She stepped up. She was like, I'm going to help you. I'm gonna get you connected to more people that you need. And she kind of like helped us find more people, and she kind of helped us manage like the whole concept of like running a business.
You know, it's so funny because I think one of the many things that you continue to focus on is a personalized approach to student success. I love that continues to be at the forefront of the work that you currently do with educators, because the more that we can build up our students and really get them the support that they need when they need it is really, I mean, something that we do a ton with the professional development we do on the Teach Better team, but also just something we really love to support in other avenues when educators really work to make that a priority. So if I was to ask you, you know, what keeps you excited about the work you're doing? I mean, obviously it's a business. Obviously you've done a lot to make it successful. But what really fuels your fire and, you know, gets you up in the morning?
It's to be honest, it's definitely the students, right? A lot of our students are like struggling at home, in schools, because of the community they come from, right? And when I hear one of my students is telling me, yo, like I wish I had more of these resources within my school, within my community, that I'm like shocked, like why it's not there, like why is a lot of this curriculum are not being taught to our students. That motivates me all the time. It's like that's my goal. How can I provide the best resources, the best curriculum, the best education to my community and all the communities that are struggling? And that motivates me. And like when I hear the story of some of my students, it's just like, all right, I need to hear millions of those stories. I need to hear billions of those stories.
Oh, that was the line of the podcast episode. That was it right there. That's powerful. So important. I have to ask though, you know, obviously you do trainings for teachers, you provide support to educators, you're doing all these different pieces. I'm sure the students you work with at some point, I mean, some of them might become teachers. I mean, there's so many pieces that you're involved in. But when it comes to advice, whether it be a new teacher or a veteran teacher, what would be the piece of advice you feel like educators need to hear to continue forward with this progressive educational movement of getting students that personalized approach of what they need?
Yeah, so I actually have two advice for teachers, right? One of them is basically taking care of themselves. Sometimes teachers are like basically our parents inside the school, right? And so they really need to take care of themselves because it's a lot of stress work managing like 20 to 30 students. It's like you're basically parents of like 30 students in for like I would say like 8 to 9 hours, right? So at that time, like it's such a stressful job that teachers need to take care of themselves to provide the best service to the students, to provide, to connect with the students. And the second one is to like be like empathize. Like empathy is so key. Empathize with each of your students. Like try to understand what they're going through. Try to understand like if A is going through this way, like they probably need to learn different ways, right? How can I empathize with this person so I can create something personalized for this student? I know it's hard, but sometimes those are some of the approach that we need to take to really give our students the teaching that they need, or some of the or even like just have a conversation with the students is so important. Sometimes we just forget about that, but like I think teachers need to empathize a lot more when it comes to like education.
Empathy and self-care, I couldn't agree more. It's crucial to any kind of lesson, and to be in there, like you said, being the best we can for the students. So I love it. All right, let's have a little bit of fun. We're gonna do the next 6 questions, and your goal is to answer each one in 15 seconds or less. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What is one EdTech tool you cannot live without?
Google Docs, Google Drive.
Google Drive. All right. Give us a book that you're reading right now.
Becoming by Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Love it. And who do we need to follow on Twitter or Instagram today? You can give us up to 3.
Yes. Dalai Lama, ThriveGlobal, Christopher Emdin.
What is a good YouTube channel or website for educators?
Oh, TED. I love TED so much. It's like a lot of my contents that I used are from TED.
Give us a daily, weekly, or monthly routine every teacher should get into.
Check up on themselves. Like it's so crucial. Teachers get overwhelmed so much. They need to ask themselves, how am I doing really? Like, and teachers don't ask that to themselves.
That's powerful. Yeah. And what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Growth is not only about success.
Ooh.
Growth is not only about success. Man, ain't that the truth, friends?
I like that one a lot.
That is so spot on. Whew. I feel like that needs to be like a bumper sticker. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right over there, Ray?
Well, it's awesome. As far as our listeners, I really want to make sure that people can stay connected to you. So would you mind sharing how people can stay connected?
Yeah, it's basically all of my social media it's my name. And also I have a website as well that has all of my information into it. It's basically khandkerahamed.com. You can visit there. And basically, I'm reach out anytime, like with any questions. I'm open to connecting with new people and getting advice or giving advice, being a mentor, being a mentee, open to anything.
Love it. And, you can find all the links and all the resources, everything we mentioned about or talked about in this episode over at teachbetter.com, as well as the really important links for connecting with Khandker and keeping the conversation going. So head over to teachbetter.com for all of that in the show notes. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And if you can give us a rating and review, we'd really appreciate that as well. But let's keep taking this one step further. Think of just 3 of your colleagues who need to hear these amazing stories and connect with these amazing educators, and share this podcast with them. Khandker, this was just awesome. I really appreciate you taking some time and chatting with us, having some fun with us, sharing your story. I think the work that you're doing is so amazing. And I really appreciate you sharing your insight to how you started and what you're doing, what you're going through right now. So just thank you so much from us.
Yeah, thank you. And Jeff and Ray, I definitely want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for inviting me. And I definitely want to say the work you guys are doing, it's amazing, and it's so much needed, especially during this time. Like hearing from like your podcast, it's a motivation for a lot of our teachers space. So just thank you from me and my community and the schools that we work with.
Well, I appreciate that, though. That means so much to us. We can't even explain. So thank you for that. And until next time, let's get out there. Let's teach better.